What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Cali. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So check this out. Looks like the Clippers are looking a little bit better. They're looking very, very good. That was a big win against the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. I mean, it really made a statement. It's not the end-all, be-all, for Cleveland, I would say, because a lot of people might be panicking about them right now just because they lost 2 straight. But I will say it's definitely an uplifting for the Clippers. You know what I mean? Because Kawhi came out looking very bouncy, looking like himself. And, James Harden was doing James Harden things. Zubac has really been looking like just unstoppable this year. I mean, it's really hard to even put into words how great he's been playing this year. I really think he's really found his place in his niche, in the NBA. For years, I feel like Zubac has been a good player, but not, more looking towards the great side of his abilities. And I feel like he's going towards the great side of his abilities. I feel like he's a top big man in the NBA, like maybe a top 5 big man in the NBA, the way he's playing. So we got to give him some credit. We got to just give him, what he's doing, his just due. And right now, he's playing very good. He's playing very sound, very engaged mentally, offensively, defensively. I mean, he's really actually been one of their best players on the team this year, because Kawhi was out a good little while, and they had to find ways to, get around, make up for what Kawhi not being there, and they really have. I got to give them credit. You know what I mean? So let's just give credit where credit is due, and let's just keep trying to build on what we have, and that's pretty much what the Clippers have done up to this point. I like what the Clippers are doing. I like what they have right now. I like their chemistry. I like the way they're playing. I mean, I like everything I see, and that game really dictated a lot because you played against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA for the last 5 months, and you played outstanding. So there you go. I mean, at this point, all is going well for the Clippers based upon the confidence that they have getting a W like that in the fashion they did, 132 points. They actually put Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland strapped up. I think they only had 17, 18 points apiece. I mean, Kawhi had 33 points, 7 rebounds. I mean, Bogey had 20 points. Zubac had a big night. Harden had a big night. I mean, it was just a great total domination from the Clippers from all phases. And the Cleveland came out on fire. They came out right, but I mean, the Clippers had a lot of fight. They stayed the course, and they kept their mentality as in, like, we're going to find a way to win this game no matter how, good Cleveland is and what type of run they come out with. They had to sustain their run, and Cleveland couldn't do it because the Clippers sustained they withstood what Cleveland threw at them, and they counteracted with their own runs, and their runs came at the better time, which actually helped them win the game. And I think that was huge for their confidence. And I feel like this is one of those games where they're going to look back on the season and be like, we were a play-in tournament team where we were standing, even though we might enter the playoffs as a play-in tournament team, hopefully the playoffs, but we are just as dangerous as any team in the West or the Eastern Conference if we're fully healthy. And I feel like that's the one game that we actually saw them this whole year play fully together and healthy. Everyone was available. From Kawhi to Norman Powell to all the way down the roster, everybody was available. And they did it against the best team in the NBA. So that tells you how dangerous the Clippers can be. And if they're going to play like this, if they can stay on the floor and stay healthy, the sky's the limit for them. I mean, really, it's never been about talent with the Clippers. It's always been about health, if you really think about it. Even with the other teams that had, not even this one, if they're healthy, they can compete with anybody. And honestly, this might be the best Clippers team they've ever had defensively, because when you look at all the guys that can defend, from Chris Dunn to DJ, Kawhi, Bogey, Nicholas Batum, I mean, and Zubac in the paint anchoring the paint down, holding the paint down, it really makes them very, very tough for a lot of teams to face them and play against them in a 7-game series if it comes down to it. And I'm telling you, if they're healthy, I think a lot of teams in the West really might be weary of the Clippers, because what they showed last night, when they're right, they can beat anybody. And we've always known that they can beat anybody. When you have Kawhi Leonard on your roster and you have guys around him that fit the way he plays, you're liable to win a championship if Kawhi can stay healthy and the other guys stay healthy. You're liable to do it. I mean, the same thing we saw with Toronto. Nobody thought Toronto could win the championship that year. Everybody picked Golden State and every other team, the Sixers and every other team, but Kawhi's team came out on top, because when he's healthy, when he's right, and the bounces is in his step the way it was last night, and the team is playing right, They are any team he's on is going to be a force if he has the decent right pieces around him. And these pieces fit him very well because they play defense. They're 3-and-D guys and they're knockdown shooters. And he has scorers on his team along with himself, who's a scorer and a knockdown shooter and a defensive guy. So, I mean, it all fits. They just got to find a way to get Ty Lue to coach a little bit better. I mean, if that's the only thing I feel like that holds him back, because Brian Shaw is actually doing a pretty good job. Shout out to him and shout out to the Clippers for the big win. Hopefully they can just keep it going, though.